Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome to the Marvel Snap Decks of the Week, the weekly series where I showcase the top 10 best decks in Marvel Snap. And you know what? I got to tell you, I'm actually pretty excited for this week's video because we've got a whole bunch of new, interesting decks, and one of which I absolutely love. We've got some high win rate stuff. We have a wide variety of different things. I know you feel like it's Thanos everywhere, but honestly, there is a surprising amount of variety. I can't wait to get into it today, right now, starting with number 10, which is going to be a Toxic deck without Ajax. And I found this to be very interesting. Now, if you want Ajax and you have Ajax and you want to play Ajax, you definitely can. You can go to any of my prior videos and get a list. But this stuck out because not only is it running Surge, which is great for the global event, but it has a Toxic-based build that's not revolving around Ajax at all. In fact, it's utilizing things like Captain America. You got the Lizard in there, which is kind of cool for the use alongside Luke Cage. You got the surprise factor of Juggernaut, Esme, of course, in there too. It's just an interesting and fascinating deck. If you want to go to Ye Old Faithful and just play your classic Ajax, I mean, you could honestly just plug Ajax into this deck, right? You could be as simple as cutting, Juggernaut from this deck. Get rid of that little bit of tech. You add yourself the Ajax in, and you got yourself a bit of a winner here. Anti-Venom continues to be a very strong card in this archetype, and I'm a sucker for anything with Malekith. I actually really like the way Malekith plays, and I actually wish I had more opportunities to play Malekith even outside of something like a Toxic Shell. But regardless, I wanted to showcase this deck because I know there's a lot of people that want to play Toxic out there, but they don't have Ajax, and we have ourselves a 58% win rate deck at a 0.44 cube rate that does not have Ajax, which I think is pretty damn cool. And that's going to take us to number 9. Number 9 is going to be my favorite deck of the week. It's New Bloodstone. This has been the one that I've had the most fun playing at a 58% win rate and a 0.58 cube rate as well. 58's all around. This deck is just so much fun. It feels like a very active deck. Has a pretty kind of aggressive curve. You have the surprise play of Cannonball, which is not obvious in this type of shell. It doesn't read like a Scream shell, and so Cannonball is often legitimately surprising. Surge is wonderful in this deck. Pretty much everything that you get after Turn 2 is basically playable with the exception of Cannonball and Iron Man. Everything else can be more or less put down right away, which is awesome. And I mean, listen, I might be a little biased. We were talking about variants last week with the Blue Marvel. I got to flex this. I literally just got this variant of Hawkeye Kate Bishop. We have the gold on gold crackled split, and I just want to kind of showcase it because I love it. I mean, it's the Penny Arcade variant, of course, but this split is just absolutely unbelievable. So, hey, anytime I could be playing some Hawkeye, I've been doing it lately because, listen, I'm a sucker for really nice splits, and that one, I can't get enough of looking at it. And then we have, obviously, the classic Surge into pretty much anything here. Luna Snow. Oh, am I going to do this again? Do I have to do this again? This was the prior week split I got. I'm sorry. This whole deck is just filled with splits that I just want to showcase to you guys. I need to do one of those split videos where I just kind of showcase some of my cool splits. In this particular one, I went with the pink border to kind of match the microphone, by the way. I thought it was a nice touch. We actually did a poll on it on Twitch to see what you guys thought. So anyways, kind of lost my train of thought here. Were we talking about decks? We talking about variants? What are we doing here? But anyways, long story short, this has been by far my favorite deck of the week, and it has great stats, honestly. We do have some higher win rate stuff and a couple standouts here and there. But if you want to try something that's really fresh and you have Frigga, and also Bloodstone has barely been played in like 6 months, this is the one to play. I absolutely love it. I don't know what else to say. And it's coming off the, off of this, which was honestly prior one of my absolute favorite decks. This is a little different. So we've been talking about Agent Havoc for a while, and it usually has the Kitty Pryde. This one is extremely interesting, and it actually edges out from a cube rate perspective the other version I featured in other weeks for Madam Web. That's right, we have Madam Web in this deck, Kitty Pryde out, Madam Web in, and at first I was legitimately skeptical, and then I was like, hold on. I mean, Madam Web's kind of cool, gets hit by Bast, obviously gets Agent Venomed. It's low stats, but it provides you a lot of flexibility with how you move things, gain additional access. Cosmo, which is in this deck, can be moved around and used as a bit of a chess piece for some 5-head gameplay. Honestly, it played better than I expected. I might still prefer the Kitty Pryde version. I'll be honest with you. The Kitty Pryde version has this tempo that's very, very straightforward. This one, though, is a cook. It's really interesting. And if you're looking to get like 8 cube wins with, the Cosmos and stuff like that, I was actually surprised at what this deck was capable of doing. Again, the Kitty Pryde version, it's a comfort factor for me. And if you want to play the Kitty Pryde version, really, you just take Madam Web out and put Kitty Pryde in. It's more or less the same thing. This has Cosmo. You would take Cosmo in as well. But honestly, these decks are great. The Agent Venom lists are fantastic. They're amongst my favorite. I mean, we're only in the top 3 right now. We've only gone through to number 8, and already I'm so excited about these lists. We got more coming. I know I just finished saying that I absolutely love those other decks I just talked about, but now we're talking about the Silver Surfer deck, and I love it too. I can't, honestly, I feel like the amount of deck variety right now is great. I'm actually really enjoying playing Snap right now. There's so many decks I want to play, and anytime you have a Silver Surfer deck being legit in the meta, it's exciting to me. Once again, Luna Snow making this deck. You have Makari making the deck as well. And of course, you have the Killmonger, which is great considering how much Thanos you're seeing. You can play Killmonger late if you're playing against like an ongoing style of Thanos and, you know, Strange Supreme's not on the board. Or conversely, you can play it earlier on to deny the suck being provided by Strange Supreme. So I really do like it. It doesn't have Forge, which I find fascinating, and it also is not running the likes of Sebastian Shaw. When I was testing this deck, I did enjoy it, and I do feel like Rogue has a lot of targets, but I tend to like Forge and Sebastian Shaw in my Surfer decks, although honestly, you can't lie to the stats, man. This is doing great at a 59% win rate and a 0.55 cube rate. Again, we have great decks with great stats right now. So Captain Carter has most certainly found a home in Silver Surfer, and this is a great example of exactly that. As we go to number 6, which ironically is Strange Supreme. We have some higher performing decks than Strange Supreme, if you can believe it. Don't worry, there's another Thanos deck we got to talk about momentarily, but Supreme Thanos is running a 60% win rate and a 0.40 cube rate, and that is good. And bear in mind, these are all post-infinite statistics. This is still a great deck. It's still performing very well. Strange Supreme gets absolutely massive, but what we're seeing now is the implementation of more tech pieces in the deck, like the Mobius and Mobius, the Enchantress, Cosmo. Cosmo is always in these decks. I digress, because you had to protect your Strange Supreme. But you also have the likes of Shadow King in this deck too. So, and let's not forget Goliath. You have a lot in this deck that is utilizing the opportunity to not only protect your Strange Supreme, but perhaps do some damage and catch your opponents by surprise as well. So this is the latest highest win rate version of Strange Supreme in Thanos, although Thanos is going to show its face just in a few moments here. But before that, ongoing Spectrum. And the key thing about this here is if you're looking for a Prodigy deck for that sweet gold, I mean, they flipped the gold and the token missions, eh? Like the season pass cards no longer giving gold, it's giving tokens. I understand why they did that, but man, I don't know if I want to play 8 Prodigy games. And then I saw this deck and I was like, damn it, this is a really good Spectrum deck with Prodigy in it. And it's funny because Coccia and I had spoken about on the Snapchat how it felt likely that the de facto best place for Prodigy was going to be ongoing. And even though I feel like, I don't want to say it's just like, you know, a wimp's way out to just play it in ongoing, because it is great there. The card feels like it has a really cool macro high ceiling, Prodigy itself. And while you have just a natural ton of good targets with ongoing, especially since, you know, you copy something that's ongoing and you get hit with Spectrum and stuff like that, I wonder if like the best version of Prodigy hasn't quite been figured out yet. And then again, I'm talking about a deck with a 60% win rate at 0.69 nice cube rate. So this deck is absolutely clapping cheeks. And yeah, Prodigy is great in it. But what I'm trying to say is like, the more I've played Prodigy, the more I've been like, you know what? He doesn't feel great yet, but he has these moments. And in something like this, it just showcases that, you know what? Pretty much every card here is a pretty decent hit, especially when you consider what you can do with Spectrum. Yeah, obviously you like the Iron Man and stuff like that. But overall, Prodigy in these ongoing shells has been impressive. And this deck is impressive. And it's relatively inexpensive. I mean, if you ignore Sam Wilson, Prodigy, and Captain Carter, I guess. And Moonstone. Never mind, I take it back, because Goliath is actually there too. This is actually a surprisingly expensive ongoing deck. But the good news is if you are missing a card or two, like if you're missing Sam Wilson, you could cope and put any number of ongoings in there, right? So, long story short, Spectrum back in the meta, and Prodigy doing good work in this deck. And in my playtesting, honestly, I was impressed. It was solid. And that's going to take us to number 4, and it's a Sauron Surge deck. Sauron has continued to be pretty good, but it kind of fell out of the zeitgeist a little bit. Like, people stopped playing Sauron, but with Starbrand and with Surtur, even after the nerfs to Surtur, honestly, it still plays very well. Surge adding a little bit of a interesting take to this, giving you that like more aggressive curve. You have the Zabu in there as well, so you can really make some magic happen. The deck plays really well. In my testing of this particular shell, I don't know if I love Surge in this. I'm not convinced of Surge here. Surge does have some great hits, like obviously you play into the Ares and stuff like that. It's just free real estate. Very aggressive with crossbones, plays well. It is generally pretty good. It's just like when I'm playing some of the other Surge lists, Surge feels like it's carrying more weight, and this feels like it's solid. Don't get me wrong, it's solid. But I don't know if Surge is the ultimate destination for Sauron, you know what I mean? But long story short, currently, if you want to play Sauron, this is statistically one of the absolute best versions with a 61% win rate, 0.35 cube rate. So definitely give it a shot if you're interested in playing some Sauron, and that is going to take us into the top 3. Well, I did tell you that Thanos is going to make another comeback here, and as you can see, Spectrum is doing a lot of work because Ongoing Thanos is running a 61% win rate and an astronomical 0.64 cube rate. This deck is just clapping cheeks. And what's interesting about it is that a lot of the anti-meta decks, which are running the Hazmats, which is obviously countered by the Luke Cage here, you have the Mobius and Mobius. Wiccan honestly gets a ton of value in these types of shells, and because you're not playing the Strange Supreme, you have that immense Mockingbird combo play, which often comes down in conjunction with Spectrum because it's generally free, and obviously you have the Captain America shield out there, which is obviously discounting the Mockingbird as well. So on turn 6, I do find myself very often playing Mockingbird and Spectrum for an absolutely gargantuan play across the board. This deck is damn good. It's really, really good, and it has a lot of the tech it needs to be successful. And it's fascinating because not only do you have Luke Cage for, obviously for counters and stuff like that, and Mobius and Mobius, but they're 3/5s alongside something like a Spectrum. And so they feel like they carry their weight a little more, despite the fact they're obviously core tech pieces too, and a Goliath is absolutely huge. So anyways, Ongoing Thanos, still absolutely fantastic, and technically by a pretty wide margin, outperforming the Strange Supreme version. That's worth noting. It's going to take us to number 2, and this is a brand new list that's kind of making its way into the meta here, and it's performing very well, and it's Darkhawk Bounce. The cube rate's on a bit of the lower end compared to some of the top tier decks, but it's running a 62% win rate, which is astronomical, and honestly 0.46 is still amazing. We just talked about one with 0.69 and stuff like that, right? So there is a bit of a cube rate gap, but I think the deck is unique enough that I wanted to showcase it, especially since it's been a while since we've seen a Darkhawk list make some noise. I actually tested this deck because I was really fascinated about it, and this is statistically the best version of it. I actually subbed out Sage, and I didn't love this because I do love Sage, and I actually had put Joaquin Taurus Falcon in to see if I could do some extra stuff with like the combo Korg, and obviously you have the Cassandra Nova, which is going to feast on the extra rocks and stuff, but I mean, that was just me fooling around a little bit, and ultimately I do love Sage, don't get me wrong. I don't want to cut Sage from a deck like this. This is what I was trying in my testing when I was trying to play the list and get some experience with it, but statistically this is the one to play right now. It's crushing it. It's doing fantastic, and it's a new take on Darkhawk. I just think that it wouldn't surprise me if Joaquin Taurus Falcon could sneak into this deck somewhere. That's all I'm saying. If you have it and you want to experiment a little bit, give it a shot. It just feels like the kind of list that would really benefit from that particular card. And that is going to take us to number 1. And despite the fact that we have like a whole bunch of crazy new cards and new decks to talk about this week, I don't want to say it's kind of sad that like this is one of the same old ones, but you know what? We got Scream at number 1. It's a 62% win rate, 0.70 cube rate. It's insane. And this is the Hydra Stomper version with Silk. It's absolutely crushing it. So no surprise, Scream is still fantastic. And what it would be a great surprise, by the way, and I would appreciate if you were to hit that like button and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already while you're down there, just double check. Be like, hey, you know what? I watch these videos all the time. Am I actually subscribed? You'd be surprised. I'm not going to do that cringe thing where I put like the thing on the screen. It's like 65% of people aren't subscribed, but there's a chance you're not subscribed. But honestly, there's also a chance you are. And I appreciate you regardless, whether you're subscribed or not. I love you guys. Hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have some good luck on the ladder in Marvel Snap. We'll see you on that next one.